welcome back to Law Study Kid. I'm Rabia. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer based in Toronto, Ontario, and I'm also the founder of Law Study Kid, where we help NCA students with providing them with resources. If you're interested, you can take a look at our website, which I'm going to link in the description box below. In today's video, I want to talk about whether NCA notes are sufficient to pass NCA exams. This is one of the questions that I had when I was writing these exams. And I didn't know who to trust, who not to trust, and I didn't know what to do. And I always wondered if I should just buy the notes and not buy the books and just see what happens. So I want to talk about this and, just explain to you why I think what I think. And if you're interested, you can keep watching. So I'm going to share my opinion at the end of the video, but I want to share two things that you need to look at when you are answering this question. Everyone is going to have a different opinion. I'm sure some people are going to agree with me, some people are going to disagree with me, but how do you decide what's the answer to this question for you? I'm going to talk about that, and I'll tell you like two questions that you need to ask yourself. And then in the end, I'll tell you what my opinion is and share anything else that I've experienced myself in this journey. The first question that you want to ask yourself when you're thinking about are NCA notes sufficient to pass NCA exams is that who is writing these notes? If you're buying these notes online and you don't know who's writing these notes, and if you haven't seen the person, if you haven't talk to the person, or you don't know who they are, then you just want to make sure that can you trust the person that you're buying these notes from. So just like an example, I've put a lot of videos regarding NCA notes and all of that stuff. If you haven't watched it, please go ahead and watch it because it will give you insight on just NCA notes and generally like resources that you find online. So for example, if you're reading a book, you know that the book is written by like an author and you know their qualifications and like you can see online, you can see the person who's written this book. You tend to trust them because you know who they are. So when you're buying notes, just ask yourself, like, who's writing these notes? Do I trust this person? Can I trust this person? You can look at reviews. You can, if you go to a mall and you're buying something, you always look at reviews. Same thing. Nothing too complicated in that. If you trust the person who's writing these notes, maybe it will help you pass the exams because the notes are well written, they're comprehensive, they cover everything that needs to be on the syllabus. And, you kind of trust and you go with it. I have heard people who have passed the exams by just reading notes. And I've also heard people who haven't passed these exams because of the notes. So you have to make that judgment call, and you have to also see like what your level of understanding is. I know that some people understand things better when they're more detailed. They like to read a book, as opposed to notes, which are just, which are mostly summary of what the actual book says. So just keep that in mind. Ask yourself this question, and if the answer to this is yes, I trust the person, I trust the notes, maybe you can pass these exams. Second thing that you want to ask yourself is if you buy notes, make sure and always look at the NCA syllabus to see, do the notes cover the entire syllabus? If the notes don't cover the syllabus and it's written for JD students or different students, then I don't think that the notes are actually teaching you what you need for the NCA exams. So you have to be very, very careful when you buy the notes. Double check the syllabus, double check the cases, double check the statute to make sure that the notes have everything that the syllabus is talking about. The syllabus talks about books, the syllabus talks about different case law. Make sure that the notes cover all of that. If they don't cover this, then are you comfortable not reading what the examiners are asking you to read? So that's the question that you're going to be asking yourself, and seeing if it makes sense to you or it doesn't. I've shared this in my previous videos. I did purchase notes from Kijiji. And Kijiji is a website where you can sell anything basically, and you can't really see the seller. And I didn't have a good experience, and I didn't know, the notes were not for NCA exams, but for like other like students, which is different programs. So you'll see that, you know, for example, like contract law. Contract law, the syllabus for contract law for a JD student might be different than an NCA student. So if you're just going on to law school libraries and downloading those free notes, I would be hesitant because they're not really covering the syllabus, which is NCA syllabus. Remember, it's different. You can't just use law school syllabus to prepare for these exams. These exams are designed for international trained lawyers to test them differently and to also see if they're able to meet those competencies or not. So be very, very careful. Double check everything. And if all of that is perfect, then again, you'll go back and question as to, do you trust these notes? Does it cover everything? If yes, maybe you can pass the exams. So the last thing I want to talk about is my advice as to whether you should be buying books or notes are sufficient. So I'll tell you what I did. Now, I went to Osgood and I did the master's, so I had a lot of the books already. And I know that books are expensive and not everybody has access to these books, especially now when the exams are online. People don't know where to buy these books from or like what to do. I was actually looking at some of the books are like $160 and they're very expensive. So I get why people are hesitant in buying these books. So first of all, for me, I already had these books because I was studying for because I was I was studying at Osgood and they made us buy these books. So I had a lot of the books already. And I did read the books because I felt as though I'm the sort of person, I need to understand things on my own first and then make notes out of that. If I use somebody else's notes, I don't understand the thought pattern behind things. And I never found any notes that kind of showed me that thought pattern. Like, for example, if somebody's writing these notes, I want to see some comments as to why did they add this section to the notes? Like, what was the thought process behind it? So that's me, and that's my personal way of working. I don't succeed if I just look at somebody else's notes and I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to understand things first. And then I can use somebody else's notes too, but I just need to have my own thought process behind it. Because when other people write these notes, they know why they wrote it, they know where they found stuff and all of that. But for somebody like me, I need to read things a couple of times to understand them first and then make those notes. So I had the books and I read the books as a result of that. I don't know if I would have bought all the books if it was just on my own, because books are expensive and maybe I would have just resorted to some notes. But because I had them, I made use of them. Some books I didn't have, and I was trying to be cheap. And by not buying them, and I ended up buying them in the end. For example, property law and torts. Property law and torts were two courses that I was like, and the notes that I got were not good notes, and I'm not gonna name who I got it. It was in like, again, it was in like recognized places. I just bought it off like random people and random things, which again, like, wasn't that great, because when I checked it against the syllabus, those were not for NCA exams. So then in the end, like when I had a month left, I was like, I need to buy the books, and I eventually did buy the books, because property law, I couldn't for the love of God understand anything about it. I thought that it was very tricky. I don't know if somebody is writing property law, but it's one of those courses where it's very hard to understand it on your own. I ended up passing the exam, and because I think that I spent so much time trying to understand the concepts on my own. So yeah, I mean, I was trying to be cheap with some of the courses because again, I don't want to spend the money, and then I regretted it instantly, and then I ended up buying the books because I was like, I don't want to fail these exams. I feel like I'm talking too fast, and I've been told in real life that I talk very fast. So if you think that I talk fast, please let me know because I'm used to talking fast and doing things fast. So yeah, if you think I'm talking fast, just let me know in the comment section, and I can try to be a little bit slow. But yeah, so I did buy the books, and I will highly recommend buying the books for courses that you're unsure about. If you know for a fact that, there's some courses that you already know, and you trust the notes, go for the notes too. And I have seen my friends pass using good notes, and they were fine. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't want to spend the money and all of that, just make sure that your notes are from places that you trust and they're according to the syllabus. It is your duty to ensure that the notes are according to the syllabus. Because whoever's selling it or whoever has them, of course they should do all of that. But at the end of the day, just don't trust anyone blindly. Just do your own research, look at your own syllabus, and try to make sure that it is in fact according to the syllabus. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and let me know if there's anything else that I can talk about, and whatever you're interested in. I'm happy to talk about something that you guys want. And yeah, thank you.